Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're going to discuss the Australian peel. The Australian peel is a tactic used by smaller units that run into larger units than they can handle, and it's a way to disengage quickly. I don't know if it was invented in Australia or not, but the Aussies get to claim the name, so we'll call it the Australian peel. In what you're about to see in this video, you're going to see several different engagements. The first one is on a flat range taken by a drone, and that's where you should practice this the first time. On a flat range, no obstructions, everybody can see what's going on because it's a safety factor. And I would recommend doing it at close interval, i.e. not at a full combat spread, to make maximum use of the range so you can get the maximum repetitions in before you run out of distance on the range. This is a tactic, as I said, for disengagement. It's kind of a pre-planned drill. When your point man or whoever announces and tells you to execute the drill, you just execute along the lines of what you have trained for. Now, in the version where you see on the flat range, people are just firing and running to the back of the line. The SOP of that training is that you break to the right and run down the right side after tapping the last man. Everybody expects you to do that. There are other techniques out there. None is right, none is wrong, and it's your personal preference or the SOPs established by your unit.
Contact front! Cover, fuck! Peel, 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 peel! Last man! Last man!
In these sequences, you'll see a certain number of rounds fired off per person. That's at the discretion of the shooter. I know a lot of military units say dump the mag and run. If that's their SOP, that's their SOP. Not going to say that's right, not going to say that's wrong. Semi-automatically, obviously, you just loose off enough rounds to keep their heads down and keep moving. That's the number of rounds that you will feel are necessary.
Online! Suppressive fire, everybody!
This particular fire team, their drill is that when contact's initiated, they will break to the right. They will after firing off a certain number of rounds, and the fourth man will prep a smoke grenade to be thrown when it becomes his turn to fire and then break contact. And a team member who's recently just broken and gotten into place will be prepping another smoke grenade to get two out there to provide concealment so the team can continue to put distance between them and the enemy. As you can see from this sequence, the shooter with the POV camera is having severe weapons malfunctions, and you cannot let that interrupt the flow of the drill. If you pull the trigger and it doesn't go bang, just run so you can clear the way for the next man to lay down fire. Part of this drill is keeping up a steady stream of fire to keep the enemy suppressed and keep the size of your unit a secret, or at least indistinguishable to him.
Last man! Online! Team online now! Ceasefire! Ceasefire!
As you can see, this is a tactic that needs to be well practiced and well rehearsed. There is potential for a lot to go wrong, and you've got to be on your game to use this tactic. Do not jump into this live fire. I would suggest that if you're deciding this is a tactic that your team needs to practice, walk it through, dry fire it. Not once, not twice, about a zillion times until you guys are really comfortable for it. Then go to an open flat range where there are no obstructions, where there's no visual obstructions, where there's no tanglefoot or anything like that, so you can practice it. And practice it somewhat of a close interval to make maximum use of your space. But go ahead and practice it there where there's no chance of hidden obstructions or anything like that causing problems, so you can get the tactic down. Then, once you're solid, once you can do it, once everybody's clear on the SOPs, then practice it in terrain. But not until you have your SOPs locked down. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's edition of Pegasus Test. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in for future videos on combat tactics.